Okay, hello and welcome to another video of mine, and today I'm going to show you the JVC KD-W110 stereo double cassette deck. Now, I've wanted to have this cassette deck since a longer time, but I never really looked out to buy it. But of course I have googled it, and because I have googled it, Google pop-up ads showed me advertisements for it's kind of hard to explain. It's kind of like a Craigslist thing, but it does still work different than Craigslist. But it's kind of, one of those things where private people just sell stuff over the internet. It really only exists over here in Europe, but it is an eBay thing. It's at least here in Germany called eBay Kleinanzeigen. But yeah. So everything was basically sold up in those ads didn't really work. Like, the people said it didn't work, and there was even one which apparently was fully cleaned out. The person has apparently completely took it apart and washed it, but they were like, I put new belts in it and it doesn't work. So and other people were like, there was one advertisement that's ridiculous. Deck A didn't work, Deck B had horrible wow and flutter, and the person was doing a bidding on it, and for some reason or other, people bid €70 on this thing, which this cassette deck in reality is only worth maybe €40 or €50. So it's kind of ridiculous how these bidding things sometimes can go. But anyway, one time an ad sold up for this one for €20. Now, the only issue which was listed was that Deck A had issues with a treble, and I'm going to show you why very shortly. But I was like, nah, I don't really want to buy this, but this is just such a good deal. And well, as you can see, I ended up buying it, which actually I don't regret doing so. So I got it home, and here is the reason why. Wait, let me zoom on to that. Why it's on its awful. It's kind of hard seeing it because the camera probably won't focus. But look at that. That is just a big, I don't know what it was, that big crust of tape crap on there. And oh man, that was just awful. But it came off really easily. But it was really a thick crust of it on there. And I also had to adjust the azimuths on both decks, which again helped with the treble a lot. And I can really say that this is a good sounding cassette deck. It's not really a Ferro master. Recordings and playback of Ferro tapes are decent, but I've heard some other decks doing a better job of that. But it's decent, and both chrome and metal tapes actually sound really, really good on this thing. So, I guess for the Ferro tapes, I'll continue to use my Pioneer, which I'm going to be careful because I got a really messy setup going on, but it's down there. Yeah, I've set up a lot of lights because my camera isn't very good at low light, so. Anyway, let's go back to it. So, yeah, I prefer the black version, but this is gonna replace the Nico cassette deck, which I actually have the video of the Nico system uploaded. I just need to put it public, but I always forget to do that. So, you will see that cassette deck. It's a brilliant cassette deck, but it has some issues, and this one, which this one luckily does not have. But anyway, I got it home, I cleaned the heads, and I took it apart, in hopes that the camera will actually focus on this object. You see, it says reefer on it. Now I'm surprised by how many people do not know what a reefer is. A reefer is a crappy, stupid, just making me aggressive, sorry right there, making me aggressive filter capacitor. These filter capacitors are known to blow up. These are of some crap quality, and hopefully, you probably can't see it, because the camera already had trouble focusing on it. No, you can't see it, or maybe you can. There you go, look at that, it has some cracks on it. And these things get cracky and oxidized from the inside because air can get in them. And they oxidize and blow up. And these, just just makes me angry. I once had a beautiful wood grain TV, and one of these stupid things made that TV, yeah, die in hell, made that TV unrepairable because the TV just smelled so awful of smoke and other things. I can't describe how bad it smelled. I'm still getting headaches because of that. Well, not longer anymore, but like literally half a year later, the room still smelled. And I aired it out. I had a fan going and windows open and everything, and this, well, sorry for that right there, but that TV was beautiful, and it's no more. So, as I saw it, I swear to myself, you're not gonna plug this cassette deck in anymore until you get to the soldering iron and remove it. But because the soldering iron is at a different place than where I usually am at, I had to wait another week, just staring at this thing, messing around with the eject button. But I got this stupid reefer out, and luckily the only real thing it does is it filters the AC, and for example, if like a big AC motor or something in your house turns on, let me get the reefer here. Kinda don't look down with sitting down here. I mean, it is a filter capacitor in the end. But yeah, it's just that if a big motor or a big other load in your house comes on, that puts a spike through the voltage, and that often causes pops and interference in the audio. And these basically try to eliminate that. However, there are some on the DC side after the power transformer too. So in reality, they usually just put these in because back in the 80s, they rather put more in basically anything before the 2000s or late 90s. This is always went overkill with things so that they work better. And this is one of them. However, if you remove it, it will still work just fine because you still have the other filter capacitors. So yeah, again, I apologize for me getting angry there, but man, I miss that TV. Anyway, I don't want to make you sad what's in the video. Help, I got the baba. Yeah, probably no one what's this video knows what that means, but maybe someone will. And yeah, so let's go over the features. I've been talking here for 7 minutes. There's a power switch, which is a fingerprint magnet, which is kind of the same. It is a crack that unfortunately is nothing to clean up. Then we got a microphone input, which I haven't tried yet, and a headphone output, which is non-regulatable, and I never really understood the sense in non-regulatable headphone outputs. Because if you would plug headphones in them, you know, it's just gonna be way too loud to listen to. Never really understood it, but I mean, it's kind of nice to plug like a Bluetooth speaker or something into. We got continuous play, which I'll demonstrate later. Play. This does have logic control. Rewind, fast forward. And soft eject, of course. And yeah, this is a playback only deck. And then over here is the recording deck. Again, soft touch. And we got the record button, play, rewind, fast forward, and a pause button, which is very handy to have during recordings. And I'm just gonna go to the other side of the tripod. And we got a multi-peak indicator, which is just a VU meter. Just a fancy way of saying that, I guess. This VU meter isn't really accurate. I found that 0 decibel is more like -5, +3 is more like -1, and +6 is more like +2, maybe. So, it's just better off to just have +6, kind of illuminating all the time, too. Yeah, you got your record level control down here, which is a really cool slider switch. I love slider switches. They always remind me of these, you know, studio mixing consoles and things like that. I really like slider switches. We got a record mute, which is only a push button. I would have liked to see one of these ones which stays down. But that would be kind of handy to, especially with high-speed dubbing, to just quickly erase over a tape. We got a tape select, which again I never really understood these, because the only thing it really seems to do is take off the treble. And while I'm more or less a bass, I more or less prefer bass over treble, I still don't understand these, because this make everything sound bad. We have the high-speed button, and I always forget this. Well, here's the counter, record indicator, high-speed indicator, dubbing indicator. Then we have the noise reduction system button, and this is kind of interesting. This cassette deck supports both Dolby B, or maybe even C, I will go to that later, and ANRS, which is JVC's own noise reduction system, which is compatible with Dolby, or Super ANRS. Because what's interesting, you see right here it says ANRS, which is an equivalent to Dolby B. And then JVC also had Super ANRS on their higher end decks, and Super ANRS was more or less an equivalent to Dolby C, and it was compatible with Dolby C. Now this cassette deck has a Super ANRS, or 2 for each channel, Super ANRS chips built in. Again, it doesn't advertise it anywhere. Although, what I have found out, if I put in Dolby C recorded tapes and I turn Dolby on, it actually doesn't sound bad. It actually sounds like I'm playing it back on a Dolby C deck, which is really interesting. So I'm wondering if this is like a hidden feature they don't advertise anywhere, which is Dolby C and Super ANRS capability, which of course would be really cool. And here we have the B-tape select, which this is important for recording to switch it because of the bias. So this is normal tape, this is chrome tape, and then this is metal tape. And yeah, that is just about it. And I would say let's demonstrate it here real quick. Let's see, let's use one tape, which is one of my favorites. This was recorded on the Nico deck, and it's called Vapor Leos. See, this is not too loud. I kinda don't want to have it too loud because it's late at night. And you can see it works very well. Now there is a slight issue with Deck A. Deck A really wants to be audible. Deck A makes some interesting noises. For example, if I turn the volume down, you maybe can hear it, you can hopefully hear it. Deck A has a slight click during playback, which doesn't seem to affect the playback audio. There's very steady audio and no issues whatsoever, and this clicking is there ever since I have it, and has never caused me any issues in the probably 20 hours this cassette deck has operated so far. Now it's towards the music scan. It is only one track, and how you activate it is just you press either of the wind buttons. Now again, it makes a squealing noise. I don't know where that's coming from, but it doesn't seem to affect anything, so I don't really bother. Maybe kinda hear it there. The winding is not very fast, but it is advertised, or not advertised, but it is listed in the specification that it isn't very fast. There you go. You can hear it clicking, but it doesn't seem to affect the operation, so... This tape does not have any Dolby noise reduction, because the Dolby noise reduction is messed up on the Nico. The Nico really is a poor thing. So yeah, this was a fabric tape. Let's just... we will actually... I kinda just played this for the heck of it, because this tape, or this music track, is being played back on one of these from time to time. Not this one, but one of these. Okay, let's see, where is my no copyright sound mixtape? Here it is. I need to redo this one. But this one is encoded with Dolby C. So, let's see. And now we're gonna turn Dolby on. And I hope you can hear that, but it doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound like all the treble is completely going away. It really just sounds like you turn Dolby C on. It really doesn't sound bad. It sounds just fine. Some of the noise is coming from this tape. I gotta say that. This tape is kinda noisy. But the squealing is coming from this deck. You can really hear it, because I can't turn up too loud, but I can hear that the hiss is also going away when I turn Dolby on, or whatever it is. And it really does sound quite good. Now I'm gonna try this deck. However, I'm interested in one thing here real quick. I really don't know where the clicking is coming from. You can see if I hold this down, it appears like it doesn't have much tension at all, because I can just easily press it down. However, we go into wind mode. I'm pressing down on it relatively hard. You can't really see what I'm doing. But the belts in this thing, or the idler tires, seem to be good. And the belts, because I had it apart, I tested them, and they actually seem pretty good too. They're pretty, well, they're not loose. They're pretty whatever the other thing of loose is. It's, I guess, hard, but hard doesn't sound good. So, they still appear to be good. Okay, I'm breaking it. I'm breaking it. See, this one has a pause button. This one's kind of funny. No, this one doesn't have any music certs, which is kind of cheap. Thing that makes it appear kind of cheap that only this one has it, but in theory, for playback, you're always supposed to use a playback deck, and for recording, you're always supposed to use a record deck, well, because it records. But for playback, you're usually always supposed to just use the play deck, because for recording, you of course want to make the best possible recording you can, and for that you want the tape heads to be in really good shape. So if you play it, you better wear down these heads, while still keep these ones in good condition. That's how you're supposed to do it. However, the owner of this one didn't do it. Both of these heads are kind of worn out, but they still sound just fine. And this deck doesn't have the click to it. And this makes the treble go away during playback. Again, we're going to try this in here. Both of the decks really sound good. They don't really sound any different, they both sound good. Let's try a reverse music scan. These noises, most of these whine noises are coming from the tape. For example, if this do it like this. Actually, there isn't any squealing either, which is weird. There actually isn't any squealing. I'm really wondering what's going on. This deck is this one has a little bit of a mind of its own. So I hope that won't cause us any issues. But it seems to be working so far. Well, there you go. The click is kind of worrying me a little bit, but it seems to be just fine. So, yeah. Let's give you this tape, or is it this tape? This tape was recorded on it. It's a ferric cassette, or ferro cassette, as we tend to say it in Europe. This was recorded on this deck. Next, sounds really good. Dolby is on. really does sound quite good. And now for the last thing, we're gonna do the funniest thing this machine has to offer, and that is high-speed dubbing. We actually need this. Let's see if there's another track after this one. Our dubbing tape is gonna be another SA, because that's the only thing I have on hand, and you know, Chrome is better. You can hear the squealing, I know where it's coming from. Okay, turn Dolby off, let's select that. I hope this isn't the track, I think it is. Okay, good, it's a different one. Good, then let's, oh, I always forget this. Let's first of all demonstrate the continuous play feature. I always forget to demonstrate this feature. Because for those who are interested, I also did a video about this in German. So, what you do, you just press continuous play, and you press play on the B deck. And now we're gonna pretend that this tape has reached its end and has automatically stopped. This deck automatically starts playing. And this was a recording done on the Pioneer cassette deck, which is a saw. There you go. It sounds quite good too. And now let's do the dubbing. I actually think the dubbing by itself is pretty boring, but the high-speed dubbing is just a lot of fun. Let's put the tapes in, play, and now we're doing some dubbing. And once the counter has reached 10, I'm gonna switch it to high-speed dubbing until the counter will reach 20. High-speed dubbing is activated, and I really think that high-speed dubbing sounds quite funny, especially in songs with lyrics in them, because the lyrics sound like they're all chipmunks, which is really interesting. There you go. And let's rewind this. Gonna play it back in the playback deck as you're supposed to. Again, I don't really think there's anything wrong with playing tapes in deck B, but you know, it makes sense to play it always in here. And here's a high-speed dub, or here's a dubbing, and I actually think that the dubbing quality is really quite good. Now, of course, I don't have the counter right now to see when we are switching over, but we can probably hear it. So that's the dubbing. It really does sound quite good. And now we just switch to high-speed dubbing. And even high-speed dubbing sounds really good. So yeah, this cassette deck really does sound quite good. And I don't regret buying it. Let's see. Waterloo. There you go. Gonna put this back in here. Let's do another forward music search. Let's see what next track will come up. I really like music search. I call it music search or music scan. It is really handy. Even if it's just one track, I think it's still quite handy. Let's see. Like I said, it's not winding very fast, but that is listed in the specifications. It takes approximately 100 seconds to wind a 60-minute tape, which is correct. And there you go. That's the JVC KD-W110. And yeah. I will have a direct hookup video of this on my channel, but I would say let's just take a moment and enjoy the music. If If you want to switch off early, you can do so. You will not lose anything. But for those who will stick around, you can listen to some music. And oh, by the way, before I forgot, I'm actually really proud of myself because I removed the reefer by myself. And this thing was owned by a smoker, and I cleaned it up by myself as well. This took me quite a bit of work. Despite the fact it was advertised as nearly fully working. But it's all fixed now, and yeah, I'm just happy. And if the person who owns this, in black, is happened to be watching this, greetings to you. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see us in the next video. I'm gonna turn off the lights too. And there we go. Thanks for watching.